future. As we all know, we are successfully here because of Mormugao Port Authorities and of course the Directorate General of Lighthouses and Lightshipping, that is DGLL. Let's know a little bit more about the Mormugao Port Authority. A huge round of applause, everybody. Our next guest of honor present amongst us Shri Muruganandam, the Directorate General of Lighthouses and Lighthouse Shipping. And join me, let's give a huge round of applause and welcome the Commander Opesh Kumar Sharma, Director of Shipping, Ministry of Port, Government of Goa. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was really
Chairman of Mumbai Port and Chairman of Indian Ports Association, Mr. Muruganandam, Director General, Lighthouses and Lightships, Mr. Opesh, all senior officers from various ports and speakers, esteemed speakers who are the heart and soul of this today's conference, invitees from various ports, media, and the team from Mormugao Port Authority and also from the DGLL. Welcome to all of you. So this is a small function, so you don't have to worry about the function, duration of the function, because we don't want to stand between the speakers and all of you. But I'll spend a couple of minutes why we have arranged this conference. First of all, sorry, we wanted to hold this conference sometime towards the end of June. The weather would have been kind of a little better. But for people like us who stay in Goa, this is the best period. We enjoy the rains. But for people who are coming from outside the city, outside the state, they may find that, we are coming for a couple of days and it is continuously raining. So in fact, we had invited a couple of international speakers as well, because many international ports have already migrated to 5G. So we wanted to bring a couple of companies like Verizon, Ericsson, etc. But I think they needed a little bit more time, because we plan our conferences so quickly in a matter of a month. Whereas the international conferences, it's planned well in advance. But there is time, so we will try to bring them also. So this conference is kind of an initiative of DGLL and Mormugao Port Authority, because we are a part of the same group. The Ministry of Port, Shipping and Waterways has constituted 22 NAVIC groups. NAVIC is an acronym for Neel, Arth, Vision Implementation Committee, that is Blue Economy. So our respected Jalota sir is also Chairperson of a couple of committees on cruise. So I'm heading this NAVIC cell Group 5, which is on communications, along with DGLL. So when the group met first, we didn't have a kind of a framework. We didn't have a framework to kind of move ahead, except the VTMS integration. As we all know, we have 12 major ports with isolated vessel traffic management systems. So the only objective before us was to integrate these VTMS with a homegrown app developed by the PWC, that is a National Technology Center, a technology arm for ports and waterways. I think Dr. Rajiv is somewhere here from PWC. Yeah, should have been. Yeah. So he is the architect of the homegrown VTMS app of India. So the group has decided to take this forward along with DGLL. One of the objectives of the group will be to complete the integration of all the VTMS using this homegrown app, and then get the feed migrate to NMDA, that is a National Maritime Domain Awareness. National Maritime Domain Awareness is an ambitious project of the country to get all the feed, get all the data of the maritime operations at one place. So one of the objectives is to get the integrated feed to NMDA. So this is, NMDA is a kind of a 3-year project of the Government of India. So we have to complete this integration over a couple of years maybe by next year, we'll have to complete the integration of the port VTMS and then take the field to National Maritime Domain Awareness. So this objective is very clear. Then we didn't have anything else for the group, so we deliberated and then we thought it is not enough that we take the VTMS to the next level. It is also important that the port operations are also taken to the next level. And what is required for that next level, evolution is the platform like 5G on which all the stakeholders, all the port users can come and connect. So this many international ports have already started using private 5G. So many of you may be knowing what is private 5G or an enterprise 5G is. We get a kind of a dedicated 5G network for a particular campus. For example, the ports are, I think, ideal units where private 5G can be implemented. Why is private 5G required? One is security, one is the 5G's low latency, allowing every communication, real-time communication between the machinery. We use several equipments, machinery in the port. We don't have an ecosystem right now to allow these machinery to speak to each other. On a positive note, most of the ports are on SAP. So this SAP is, we are having our administrative work on computerized on SAP. But we don't have an ecosystem where our cranes, machines, vessels, port users are on a same platform. So 5G will help, a private 5G network will help a port to have such a platform on which all the stakeholders can come, plug and play. So this is not a very difficult kind of a scenario to bring in. Though there are challenges like in India, the enterprises are not getting their own spectrum, as you know. One of the reasons why 5G has not, the enterprise 5G has not taken off in India is the dedicated spectrum is not given to companies. We have to go through the telcos to get a private 5G system in a home. So that is one reason. I think the government is looking into this kind of and trying to bring a policy to allot a dedicated spectrum to ports. And we should note that the railways, I think the speakers are in a better position to confirm. The railways have got their own 5G spectrum. And I think recently the cabinet decided to give a 5% more spectrum, 700 megahertz or something, to the railways because of the Kavach system. The safety features, so they are having a dedicated 5G spectrum. So the ports can also have a dedicated 5G spectrum, enhance the security, enhance the features whereby all the machinery equipments are speaking to each other, which will ultimately reduce the turnaround times and improve the efficiency of the port. So this is one reason we thought the group took off. And we have initiated discussions with multiple stakeholders, and this conference is a result of that kind of a thought to take this forward to the next level. And I was discussing with Rajiv sir and requesting the IPa's help also, because IPA has now become a part of this group also. For this particular thing, Ministry has said to approach IPA also. So IPA is the best organization to take this forward, because it's something which can be done by for all the major ports together. So this is the reason behind this conference, and we have invited all of you to understand what is happening in the 5G sector in India and what can be done. We are thinking about Port 4, that is when the Industrial Revolution 4 has revolutionized the manufacturing sector. Such a kind of revolution has not come to other sectors, including the ports. So yesterday, when I was discussing with one of the speakers, he was mentioning about the mining 4. So that even the mines have started implementing private 5G. So different sectors can kind of adopt this technology and move forward. That is the reason for this project. I think this is the right time to get into the 5G. because the country has already come up with a vision document on 6G. The country has already started discussions to implement 6G by 2030. In 2 phases, the first phase has already started. So this is the right time to get into 5G and then get into 6G, because otherwise we'll miss the bus. So first we have to understand the technology, how that can be adopted, and then to take it forward. So with this summary, let me get into my responsibility of welcoming Mr. Jalota sir. Mr. Rajiv Jalota is one of the senior most officers in the bureaucracy today.
About our very smiling face, supportive all the time. Any meeting, we have attended meetings under him many times. Very positive, always smiling. Such a great leader today, present among us today. It's a blessing to us, sir. Thank you very much. And respected speakers, our organization name is Lighthouses and Lightships. It's one of the oldest organizations since 1927. Our act, and recently replaced with the new acts, including many other facts of VTMS and other tourism into it. The sailors very well aware of our nature of works and its importance. As our organizers earlier spoken about the DGLL activities, we not only have these lighthouses, we have many other verticals. We have automatic identification system, VTMS, global navigational satellite systems, and deep sea voice, and other many verticals we are having. We are proud to say that we are one of the technical arm of the ministry. We more partially, we are also involved in the security aspects, coastal security and other security aspects. We work closely with the Ministry of Defence, MHA, Coast Guard and other Navy and other joint operational centers. We also recently saved 14 fishermen using the search and rescue operations. We received the messages seamlessly without any human interference. We received through the seamless radio frequencies, and any emergency signals, we immediately communicate with the search and rescue operations. We coordinate them, and recently we saved in Maharashtra coast 14 lives. There are many things we can say, but many things are involved, security aspects. I am not in a position to talk openly in this forum. Regarding the importance of the VTMS, this has been 16,500 square kilometers we established. We are the pioneer in implementing this in coordination with the GMB and Kandla Port Trust. It's already crossed more than 10 years. Still now we are speaking about the integration of the VTS. As a country, it is too late that we are still lagging behind the innovative compared to many other countries. This decision should have been taken very long back, but the National Marine Domain Awareness has entrusted us this establishment of integrated VTS among the ports and connected to the IMAC in Gorgon data designation. Not only this integration, we are also been assigned the task of establishment the VTMS in Andaman Nicobar. That is another project also we are already rolling over. the VTMS is playing a very, very important key role in safety and safe navigation in the channels, because it has got many static and dynamic data available. This also helps us if any ship accident, read and replay to investigate. Because in the Gulf of Mexico, more than 10 ports, it is being served continuously from the starting entry point of the VTS entry point to the exit. It is 24/7 continuously being monitored. Along with the other ships coming in the Indian coast, it is seamlessly monitored through our NAS network. We have 87 base stations installed in the Lighthouse tower. It is seamlessly getting connected. Any ships above 300 GRT is being monitored continuously through transponder A transponder. We have our national data center in Mumbai. All the data are being connected. We have more than 3 years of data with us. Any point of time you can able to use this data, make use of this data and analyze whatever the requirement of the marine fraternity. I can keep on saying with time. I try to conclude my speech. Once again, I welcome all of you. I request all of you use this forum more and more useful and interactive. That is more important, because there are many things we don't know. What others advanced industry or advanced countries, or what is the developers, or what is the requirement. It is a time to bridge all these things. We have to use this forum for more and more questions, interactive and helpful, get the maximum from the speakers, because they have greater experience and extraordinary knowledge. As an user, we have our own requirement. We know what is the international requirement, domestic requirement and the local requirements. So we need to bridge this gap, and I hope this forum will help us and enlighten us after this evening more. With this, I conclude my speech. Thank you very much.
The dignitaries before me have said a lot about this gentleman, and I think this gentleman really doesn't require an introduction. Let's give a huge round of applause to our special chief guest of the morning and the day, the Chairperson of Mumbai Port Authority and the Chairman of IPA, Shri Rajiv. Jalota ji, zordar taaliyan ho jaye, ladies and gentlemen.
Goa Port Chairperson has raised, though he has a very subtle sense of humor. But the reason why I call him Vinod as well as Dr. Vinod, I should clear. Because when I was in the vehicle today, one officer of Goa Port was in the car. So whenever there are officers, then I address him as Dr. Vinod. But when I meet him in person, I call him Vinod. Because today our whole conference is on communication, and there should be no miscommunication. And in fact, all our esteemed people on the dais, I would like to also say one thing. Since this NAVIC cell was formed on 5G and VTMS, I have been seeing the progress of Dr. Vinod, that how much he has internalized this subject, and really he is talking in technical terms which are so new to him. This shows his passion for the subject, and in fact the ministry who has given him this made him the leader of this topic, and he really took lot of pains in setting this conference because he spoke with me a couple of times and then told me that what kind of speakers he is trying to congregate them together. Unfortunately, a few of the international speakers could not come today, but still, I believe this is a subject which is has its great relevance for the port sector, very, very much. In fact, one of our ports, Kandla port, was used as a pilot by Ministry of Telecom for 5G technology in the port sector. If somebody from Kandla port would be here today, then I think they can share that knowledge, because some report must definitely have come from Ministry of Telecom on Kandla port's experiments that was done. I think it was a year and a half back it had happened, because they were selecting one say experimental place for each sector. For airport something was taken, some place was chosen for port, something for highways, like that. It was being tested by Government of India. In ports, maritime, yes, vessel traffic system is being used for a very long time, and the domain knowledge or the domain expertise of this area belongs to DGLL, and Ministry has tried to give more teeth to this office by doing some amendments in last few years, and I was actually have a first-hand experience of the type of technology that they have developed and implemented in the Gulf of Kutch. Last year, I was holding charge of Directorate in shipping for a short time, and Captain Nitin Mukesh is sitting here. We were worked together in the disaster management or the domain awareness center of DG shipping in Mumbai that very night when we were facing the problem in Gulf of Kutch. And in fact, various VTS systems, including the very modern systems, went off the radar for a few hours. And that time, the only saving grace to monitor those 3-4 vessels, which were very big vessels, which were caught in the sea, our DGLL system worked very fine, and we were able to track on a minute-by-minute basis those very vessels. So this is another area where we should deliberate today, that when we are looking at modern technologies, each technology comes with its own handicaps and challenges. So we should see a system where we can marry the wisdom of the past and the modern technology benefits of the present, and try to come to a golden mean that in cases of extreme emergencies and challenges, how we get the benefit of both. I was in urban management as well as in Mumbai municipal. Lot of, you can say, challenges as far as imported modern technologies of Europe or North America, which work in particular weather and climate zones, were not able to perform to their potential in Indian settings. And this year we have faced how the air conditioning systems have failed across the country, because they were mostly designed on European standards. So we need to devise our own standards. Professor Rajiv is here. He will also delve light on a homegrown Make in India technology, which comes at very cheaper rates and would be giving the same amount of inputs and outcomes which are needed by us. It is actually a very serious workshop today, and I deliberately made a point to come here because I want to listen for the whole day what is on offer, because when we are looking at Viksit Bharat and the ports of future, then we need to imbibe the modern technologies so that our ports are always at an advantageous position when we are looking at EXIM cargo growth of more than 4 to 6 times in the next 20 years. So our ports, we talk mainly about container ports, but in terms of cargo volume, container cargo handles only 20-25% of the cargo volume. So we have to look at all other kinds of cargo handling systems, how those also can be managed through modern technology, because we have to work equally in all directions. Though container ports is a fashion to talk about, and unfortunately they hog the limelight, and the other ports which are majorly working on a big cargo component and where efficiency gains can really help minimize the costs of production substantially and cost of doing business substantially. We need these technologies. I believe some of the officers in some ports, as well as IPA, a couple of officers, they have been thinking about and talking to experts on introducing of 5G and generative AI in the port sector. I would request Dr. Vinod that he should include generative AI as well in this topic, because it is all interlinked and we need to work together when we are looking at solutions which can help port improve their efficiencies and reduce the various turnaround times or idling times, whatever technical terms we say, and help Indian ports showcase to the world, because we have already showcased in terms of UPI, in terms of UIDAI, ONDS, and these various systems. So why not the port sector, and to start with major ports, can show the way forward in imbibing these modern technologies. I wish the participants that they gain from this workshop, as Dr. Vinod and Mr. Muruganandam have stated, that you should raise your queries. Don't think that you may be raising a very, very small query or may not be relevant, but everybody is in the same boat, including us, that we are not very clear about what is on offer from these technologies and how we can integrate. And Dr. Vinod actually spoke with me about involvement of some technology partner to study certain areas. Definitely from IPS side we will provide all necessary support to them, and hopefully this topic which has been taken up by this NAVIC cell shows a very good path of improving the communication systems and the 5G integration in the major port sector. Thank you, Dr. Vinod and Mr. Muruganandam, for inviting me here, and wish you the very best for this workshop.
Present over here, and इस आज आप यहाँ पे अपना कीमती वक्त निकाल के आए हैं, इसके लिए मैं चाहती हूँ. Well, the topic of the book, that is the theme which we are following here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, and the dignitaries on the stage to kindly release the book. Let's have a huge round of applause for releasing this book. It was on the theme of Port 4.0 and Advanced Vessel Traffic Management System in seaports and maritime operations. This resourceful booklet also contains technical papers which highlights the uses of advanced information technology.
A one-day conference on Port of the Future. The conference is meant to deliberate on various technologies associated with 5G. that is the fifth generation technology, wireless technology, how the 5G can help the ports to evolve into the future. So we are working on behalf of a particular committee which is working only to kind of on the technology and also on the vessel traffic management systems. How these technologies can be improved to the next generation to improve the efficiency of the ports. This conference is being jointly held by the Mormugao Port Authority and the Directorate General of Lighthouses and Lightships. So along with me, Mr. Muruganandam, the Director General is also here. But today the conference has been inaugurated by our senior officer, Mr. Rajiv Jalota, IAS, who is the chairman of the Mumbai Port Authority and also the chairman of the Indian Ports Association. So we are privileged by his presence, and he has just kicked off this conference, which will discuss the various technologies.
And for
Mr. Muruganandam want to say? Okay. Actually, we have been using vessel traffic systems, and now they have been named as vessel traffic management systems. Because earlier we used to just see which vessels are coming in the port limits, and if any vessel which is not supposed to be there is also there. Only these very limited uses were being done. Now the present vessel traffic system has been made more intelligent, and it is able to give us, you can say, data driven decision making, in a sense that when we have to allot a berth, so we can get the pilot to the vessel through this system itself. Then when the pilot is boarding the vessel, all can get tracked through the various softwares that are already now inbuilt in the vessel traffic management systems. So vessel coming into the port and then vessel leaving the port, this whole process can be driven by the vessel traffic management system, which can improve the efficiency as well as reduce the turnaround time at the port. So it is a work in progress. We can't say that we have achieved the ideal vessel traffic management system in any port, but yes, we are working on it. And fortunately, IIT Madras has developed an homegrown Make in India vessel traffic management system, which has been launched in a couple of ports, major ports in the country, and few ports are now going to implement that technology. So gradually we want to see that all major ports in the country come on a harmonized common system of vessel traffic management, which can also help integrate the data of these ports. So what challenges are there, what new improvements need to be made in these vessel traffic management systems, these actually will be deliberated in today's workshop and conference, and these findings then will be shared with ministry, so that a common policy decision is possible.
Sir, I wanted to know how many ports across India are as of now?
See, as of now, the what we are doing immediately is integration of the 12 major ports. So right now, these are islands of data. The VTMS being used by the 12 major ports are independent, though DGLL has the data integrated in their data center in Mumbai. So already the DGLL data is integrated in the data center at Mumbai, but the 12 major ports data is independently lying in the systems. So these 12 major ports will be integrated, and the data will first flow into the DGLL data center. The application will be, as sir mentioned, will be using that homegrown app by our technology arm. That app will be used to integrate these things. Ultimately, the entire feed with the DGLL feed will flow into the National Maritime Domain Awareness, NMDA. That is a national kind of a data where all the stakeholder data, DGLL, Indian Coast Guard, Indian Navy, the ports, major ports, and other private ports also will in future will join into that. Entire feed will go to the National Maritime Domain Awareness thing. So our step is to first integrate the 12 ports.
timeline for this integration and what is the kind of funding that is being earmarked for this?
For the 12 major ports, the funding will be internal. The timeline will be 2 years. Yes. Yes.
Does this also help track unidentified or rogue vessels in the Indian waters?
See, the data which we are using for ports, the intention is different. Our target is different. Whatever you asked, I think that will be done by the Indian Coast Guard and the Navy. The same kind of data will be used by multiple agencies for multiple purposes, isn't it?
Because our data, vessel traffic management data, will be confined to the port water limits. Because beyond that is what is being tracked by Coast Guard and Navy. It's like that.
Sir, in the conference earlier during the inaugural session, you had mentioned that VTMS system is implemented as a pilot project in ports of Kandla. So there it has helped these ports?
No, not VTMS. I mentioned about 5G.
5G pilot project.
But no, that experiment was done by Government of India, Ministry of Telecom, because they are trying to see that what is the impact of 5G in these sectors in performance of various, say, softwares and systems. Because in 5G, what is being talked about, that lot of things can happen wirelessly instead of the big cables which have been laid previously. So that cost effectiveness will come. Plus in port sector also there are various locations where you can't reach a cable, say something in the sea. So there how 5G can help. So most probably but we did not get to see the report myself. So I don't know what really came out of that experiment in Kandla.
So one of the most common interest points that will be the turnaround time to see that. I know it's difficult to give an average turnaround time for all the ports. Maybe from Mormugao's perspective, what's the average turnaround time for a vessel? And have you set a target like post implementation of this, it would reduce the turnaround time for a vessel?
See, right now the ministry has given targets to each port, considering the kind of challenges faced by each port is different. So the Mormugao port has got a target of around 51 hours turnaround time, when we are around 56, 57 hours. So that is an average. It may happen that because of weather conditions, because of other challenges, one vessel may take more time and one vessel may take less time. But we are around 57 hours, but our target is to bring it down to 51 hours this year, this particular year.
So this will involve a lot of funding. Like since it is internally funded, this entire system to integrate this technology would require a lot of funding by ports, by individual ports, this entire system.
So regarding this VTMS, there are two types of VTMS in country. One is the coastal VTS, another port VTS. The port VTS, now today important discussions is going on. That coastal VTS in the Gulf of Kutch, that we are already established 10 years back. That is serving for the 10 ports in the Gulf of Kutch. For this funding, the question has been raised regarding the funding. The Ministry of Defence, through the cabinet approval, has already entrusted 2 projects to the DGLL under the Ministry of Port Shipping Waterways. For the integration of the ports BTS, 44 crores has been targeted, and another 22 crores for establishment of VTMS in Andaman Nicobar Islands. So these 66 crores we have been, as a DGLL under the Ministry of Port Shipping Waterways, will budgeted, and we are going to execute the project in discussion with the IPA and under the ambit of the Ministry of Port Shipping and Waterways.
So you also spoke about this 6G also is in line. So we will be upgrading this system for 5G. So later on 6. So how it is?
Yeah, see 6G, the Government of India vision is to implement it by 2030. So if we implement 5G, just like from 4G we migrated to 5G, many of the 60-70% of the equipments which we use for 4G, we are using for 5G also. And 6G also the same thing will happen. Most of the equipments, I'm told the life is 10 years. So it is not that 2030 suddenly 6G comes and every enterprise will start adopting it. Now the enterprises have started adopting 5G. So this 5G technology will not be vastly different from the 6G. The speeds will be greater. So it will have to be examined at that point of time whether as a business you require that kind of speed also. Because each technology upgrade will see an investment from our side. So whether ports may be at that point of time happy with 5G also. Like most of the individuals today are happy with 4G. Why do you need 5G to kind of see movies and all that? You don't require a 5G kind of a. So what they call appropriate technology will be implemented at that point of time.
What delayed you on having this 5G?
No, you see, if you look in the country today, the private companies have also not implemented private 5G. They are in the process of implementing. Today, international ports have just started, so we are not, delayed. I think we are at the right time to thinking about and implementing it.
But the implementation of 5G is also going to help in data privacy as well as data security. Will keep the data within the ports network.
Yeah, of course, because the spectrum is dedicated to you. Either it is through a telco or you're directly getting it. That spectrum is dedicated to you and you are creating a private 5G for only your campus. Anybody to get into your system will require your permission to access it. So definitely for security, for images to flow, the CCTV cameras, videos to flow, that's a very, very kind of advanced. It will increase the speed like anything and the security also will be improved.
You spoke about using 5G for.
No, as sir was mentioning, we are in discussion with some technology partners, meaning we'll have to come up with a kind of a roadmap for that. Today, our systems are not. See, today when we go come out with a tender, what we mention is that the bidder should come up with hybrid cranes, hybrid devices, which are according to our green port guidelines. So they are coming out with a crane which have both electricity and the diesel, both hybrid kind of a device. Tomorrow we should be in a position to tell such people that you have to come with a 5G enabled crane, which can give real-time information to the central management systems. So I think that is the next level to which we have to go. So we are not yet there. We have to think about it.
The vessels are updated and the vessels which comes. So
Yeah.
they too need to be upgraded to the system.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
That is why in his team he has kept the member from the Director General Shipping.
Yes.
So they will be giving information
yes.
from the shipping side.
Because in the committee we have multiple people. DGLL is there, other DG shipping member is there. Ministry members are there. Everybody has to kind of contribute. Like you said, vessels also, that is an important area. Today the vessels don't speak direct with the ports directly. There is no direct communication between the vessel and the ports, if I'm right, sir. Because our communications go through the agent or, there is no direct communication between the port and the vessels which are coming, they are reluctant to use and they don't share your network also. They have their own kind of a network to talk to and they don't, trust your network also. Tomorrow it may happen that because we have a 5G secure network, the vessels can also start using that network and that will improve the communication within the port.
So what is lighthouses? What happened to that?
The lighthouse tourism, we have, as per the Ministry's guidance and Honorable Prime Minister instructions, we have already developed 75 lighthouses as the tourism destination. Earlier it was, it has been inaugurated recently at Thoothukudi by our Honorable Prime Minister. The project has been, we have completed the project. But the advantage of that is earlier it is almost 1.5 to 2 lakh tourist footfall per year. Now it is drastically increased to 16 lakh suddenly after this tourism implementation in the lighthouses. We hope it may further increase also.
Goa has lighthouse tourism.
Madam?
Sir, Goa. has
Goa.
lighthouse tourism.
Yeah, Aguada.
Yeah. Batkal we
Aguada?
Aguada we are already have. We have last year also we conducted the tourism festival in Aguada. I hope you all attended the program. because there is no space there.
Yeah, the function was held outside, but the lighthouse was there only.
Could we ask about the
Just two phases. One is the contractor which is building the structures. So there we are almost 70% of the work is completed, and we expect that by September the physical work of the buildings will be completed. Then the other tenderer, that is we call the operation and maintenance O&M part of it, who will come and put the facilities. As per the tender conditions, he has been given 4 months time. So that is a rough timeline we have to complete the terminal.
Ahead of the upcoming tourism season.
That's what I said. The building that will be complete, but the internal things which the O&M operator will have to. He has been given 4 months, but we will work along with him to kind of expedite that, or we can start using the building just like we are using today. Site building, we can use this building for operations, but it will take another 3-4 months from September to complete the entire.
tentatively June, January?
Yeah, that's what we are planning.
And any cruise vessels have kind of sounded you out about their plans for Goa?
Yeah, already for the next season we have already getting the calls, because last year also we saw an increase in the number of vessels.
They decide 1 year or 2 years in advance.
Yeah.
So
Do you have a number?
And incidentally, sir is heading the cruise tourism cell. So he has, if you want to sit here for 1 hour, he will give you the entire cruise related.
no, but the
information.
data is with their traffic department.
Huh.
Traffic of Goa port, ki, which ship is calling on which day.
Yeah.
That is also there.
It has already come to us. If you are interested, we'll get that data later. I don't have it right now.
So it looks higher than last year.
Sorry?
The cruise arrived.
It should
Yes,
be.
yes, it was.
should
It
be,
was.
should
See,
be higher.
last year we had total 1,20,000 passengers, out of which around 90,000 were domestic and the rest international. And the number of calls were also higher. Right.
Actually, domestic calls will be higher.